Okay guys, next step is we'll look at some of the technical things that happen in the front row. Firstly, often a tight head can be in difficulty when a loose head slightly opens his hips and come inwards and upwards on an angle. But firstly, let's get the technicalities in terms of the referees and the law right with that. Marius, can you help us there?
The most important thing for us, it starts with the setup. It's got to be a good setup because that just amplifies everything that goes on from there. If there's an error at the setup, it makes our jobs as referees so much harder to see. So I think it comes down to the basics: get the setup right, show all the shoulders, make sure that your spine's in line, make sure that it's accurate. And from there onwards, it makes it so much easier for us to see if there's something wrong.
So maybe let's go through the scenario where he illegally comes out a bit and goes inwards and upwards. Okay, right, from here. Let's say this loose head opens his hips a little bit. He gets his head underneath the tight head's chest and he works inwards and upwards. And put some pressure on Wesley here. Wesley, what happens? He will come upwards and he will be opened from his hooker there. Okay, now break up for me. Wes, I think the important thing there is we can see you were under pressure there. Although it wasn't legal, it sometimes can happen. And I think firstly to join up with Marius is most importantly is if someone is doing something illegal to you, do not follow and do something illegal as well, because you run the risk of also getting penalized and getting an injury. So the first thing is, I think for you, is to make sure that you do not follow him and also go inwards. Because the moment as a tight head, you also work from your outside leg and towards the inside, you will be totally disengaged from your hooker and you will have no power to work with and you'll be on your own. So I think the important thing there would be to always make sure that, as Marius touched as well, to have that set up proper and to be with your inside leg very close to your hooker and to really use that as your pivot point and as your power leg to work from. From there, you will keep pressure on him and keep him down into the front and not give him a gap to come inwards towards you. Okay, but the moment you go to the outside foot west, that is when you will open your hips and you will actually help him into that hole whilst he keeps you high and you'll have no power. Okay, so let's try the same scenario now again, where you make sure that you stay in your inside foot, that you stay low and you keep hips square and to the front. Right, let's progress towards the scenario now as well. The loose head brings his hips out. He tries to get underneath the tight head and work up and in. But our tight head is very strong on his inside legs. His hips is very close to his hooker. He works from that inside leg. Now let's go, loose head. And Wesley keeps him down and keeps good shape. And he cannot get under his chest in terms of opening him up. He stays square. He stays to the front and is in a good scrummaging position. And break.